SAFC Fan TV, Ian, wasn't the most satisfying of performances today, particularly in the first 45 minutes, where every time Peterborough came forward with the ball, it looked like they were going to cause a lot of damage to our backline. But we got the penalty late on, and a win's a win, and it's a better start than what we had to last season.
That's precisely the point. It's like it's the type of win, if you're a promotion team, you should be getting. Because Peterborough are going to be up there. We can see from the game today they were just attacking wise. Last season I thought they were the best in the league, and this season I can see them being exactly the same. Like Clark Harris caused a load of problems, as Monks caused a load of problems. Sariti Dembele was probably their best player. But even then, it's like, despite the performance, if you look on the bright side, it can be, they're going to be a promotion rival. We knew it was going to be tough, but at least we've managed to scrape through and get 3 points, which is realistically, if you're going to challenge for promotion, you need to be winning these type of games, and it doesn't matter how you win them, you just got to get the points, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you touched on, was it another player, Clark Harris there? He missed a glorious chance in the first half after that free kick was parried away by Burge into the wrong area, and all he had to do was just put it in the far corner, and somehow he put it wide of the post. But overall, I think our defensive play is looking very solid at the moment, particularly Bailey Wright commanding that back three. If you take him out of the team, there's like a massive hole. And I think him having the captain's armband today helped. And I think he will play a key part as the season goes along.
Yeah, like, to be fair, last season when Billy Wright was in the team, you could see like the massive improvement that he made to our back line instantly. And then having Willis on the right, who has a bit of pace about him for a centre-back, and Flanagan on the left, as much as I prefer Jamali on the left, Flanagan's doing a good job. He works well in the back three, and this system works. A back three system works well with us. Just, it works defensively. Going forward is a different story, but Bailey Wright definitely makes a world of difference. He's got an experienced head. He makes the right decisions, and it's hard to think of a game where he's ever had a bad game or made him a huge error in a game, and that's the type of defenders we need, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's touch on the other end of the pitch at the moment, which is a massive concern. I mean, our crossing in the first half, I mean, Denver Hume improved a bit on the left-hand side, but between 09 and Willis today, which is what you expect them to do more times during the 90 minutes, it was just very, very poor. And that is something we need to improve big time, because those are like key members of our side. Was it Willis and Wright? Sorry, Willis and 09. And if we're going to give more service to the forward line, we're going to have to see better creativity from particularly them two.
I don't think it's just that. I think we need more performances like this from him, because we aren't seeing enough of it from him. And then on the other side, O'Nien, for all his hard, we need to just work on his crossing, really, because he does all the hard work and he has a good graft about him, but it's the lack of final ball. And out of the strikers, I don't know if anyone really has any faith in Charlie White. Danny Graham, I felt, is basically a better version of Charlie White. He's got a bit more mobility about him, and then we're just saying we can't play the way Will Grigg wants. The only time we played the way Will Grigg wants is in that Harrogate game where Dan Neil put in the type of ball he wants, but we haven't been reproduced that.
I think the main worry, though, particularly with Danny Graham, because we know that with the age he's at and the fitness he may have now, is not what it used to be, particularly when he was playing for Blackburn, was it a few years ago? And we're not going to get like large amount of games out of him. I think Phil Parkinson will have to handle him in the right way. And if he does come into the team and starts putting in the goals, there will be periods where we may need to rest him to help get his fitness as well. So it is a worrying sign, particularly when the other forwards at the moment with Aidan O'Brien, even though he lacks a bit of fitness at the moment, Charlie Wyke and Will Grigg are not finding the net.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is, though, we look at the age of Danny Graham, look at Ledbitter's age and the performances he's put in against Oxford and Peterborough. He's put in arguably man of the match performances in both games. So we've got to hope, like, with his experience and with, like, his experience of goal scoring this league, we've got to hope Danny Graham steps up to the plate, because the thing is, if you look at our three strikers, the only ones who look likely to score are Greg or Danny Graham, so we're going to have to rely on them two, and we have to do, and either way, we're going to have to try and get something out of them. So, and by the way he talks, Danny Graham, when he first joined, he feels he has a point to prove with a second spell at us. So I think he'll want
a chance. Yeah. Anyway, Ian, thanks a lot. Quick one: who was your man of the match today?
I'd honestly say Grant Ledbetter. He's from the last-ditch challenge he put in, the interceptions, the just taking the pace out of Peterborough's game at the end, off the line, like the penalty itself, you could see the emotion from his celebration, like how much that meant to him. And just his all-round performances for me, he just stands out above everyone else, to be honest.
Cheers, Ian.
Cheers.
SAFC Fan TV, Jace. Wasn't the most convincing performance in the world, but we just about got over the line, didn't we?
Yeah, but weren't the best, but we got there in the end. I mean, it's 3 points against another challenging team that's going to be up there at the end of the season. They're going to be there or thereabouts in the top six. So I imagine with Peterborough how strong they were at the back end of last season.
When you saw the team line up before the game, obviously Josh Scowen came into the midfield. Charlie Wyke started up front today. Were you a little bit sceptical? Personally, I think that was the wrong move to go.
I mean, I'm always sceptical. I'm always sceptical of the team whenever with Phil Parkinson's choices, but I mean, Ledbetter, I've always questioned Ledbetter from the start. But credit where credit's due. He's came in and he's done his deed. Did well last week against Oxford, and then he's obviously came up with the winning goal this week from the penalty. So,
I mean, I never thought I'd say this, but I thought we lacked, particularly like in our midfield play and like creativity, a little bit of leadership and I thought Max Power missing. I mean, I'm not sure why he wasn't included in the squad today. It might be an injury or something. I think we missed that, even though I'm not really Max Power's biggest fan at times. He is still our captain, and I think that would have made a big difference if he was playing this afternoon.
Yeah, well, with Max Power, like you say, he's our captain. He's not going to get dropped unless he's injured. So I think it's just whoever performs the best in training between Grant Ledbetter and Josh Scowen, to be honest with you. I mean, let's look at it. You got like Grant Ledbetter's coming in the side. He's obviously getting a goal today, and he's played well last week. But the start of the season, people were questioning why. Obviously, Josh Scowen wasn't in the squad after the pre-season he had. Obviously, 2 good games against Harrogate and Darlington, but gated. But other than that, the creativity's still on the low side. I mean, obviously, Chris Maguire went off, so I was a bit hesitant then when he went off. So
yeah, hopefully that's not as serious as we first thought. But you touched on Josh Scowen there. I didn't think he had the best of games today. A lot of misplaced passes, particularly in the first half. But I do think there is a fitness issue with Scowen as well, because I think he worked his socks off at times in pre-season, and this was his first start today. But I think if he has a consistent run of games in the side, we will see the better of him.
But that's the thing. That's all fans want is consistency from the manager. I mean, if he's going to 1 week put Josh Scowen in the squad and then the next week switch him for Ledbetter, and then you've got to think George Dobson when he comes back from his suspension. Like, we've got to somehow find that stability in the centre midfield. Someone who's going to look to go forward, who's going to want to be on the end of it, like Max Power was against Bristol Rovers. But got to keep the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, one positive thing to note, it is a better start than we had under Jack Ross from what we had at the beginning of last season. 7 points from 3 games. I think last season it was 2 draws and 1 win. But we'll take it on the chin this afternoon. But we have to start putting in, particularly through the middle of the park, better performances than what we did today. And hopefully that can be a platform to build on going into the next couple of games. Quick one, Chase. Who was your man of the match today?
I'd have to say Denver Hume. It was another solid performance. His final third ball was great. I mean, the stream went off for me halfway through the game, so I was listening to it in the second half, but it was still from what Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett were saying on the radio, it was still a solid second half performance, and that's all we can ask for from a guy who's gone from being quite shy, as I was saying, low in confidence last season. He's come back this season into the squad, and he's obviously, as Paul Pattinson put it, returned as a man. And I mean, that's all we need. We need players that will step up, put the ball in the box. We just need, in the first half especially, we lacked movement in the box. So there was a couple of chances where Charlie White could have possibly gotten in front of the likes of Dan Butler and Peterborough centre-backs, and it was almost like he was hesitant. And then you see him with the penalty, obviously, once he did make that move, they panicked. And
Anyway, Chase.
But yeah, I'd definitely say Denver Hume.
Anyway, Chase, happy weekend, and I hope you have lots of faith going into the next few games, and that starts with Charlton next week.
Charlton next week, yeah. Hopefully we do.
How are the lads? Jacob Kirkbride, SAFC Fan TV. Josh, just about got over the line. I mean, our hearts were in our mouths going into the last few minutes there, but 3 points is 3 points. Wasn't the most convincing display, but yeah, we got there, especially when you're up against a side who are one of the favourites to get promotion this season.
Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, Peterborough looked incredible. I think what they were missing was just the finishing touch. Although I've got to say, I think our defence was top notch today. I don't think there was a chance of lost. Lee Burge, before he had a game today. However, he did scare me a few times when he packed the ball out. They should have been 1-0 up in the first 5 minutes. I don't know how Clark Harris missed the shot that he parried, to be honest with you.
You should have put that in the bottom corner, really. But you were touching on the defence there. Bailey Wright, I just think he's too good for this league, isn't he?
Well, I was saying it earlier, without doubt, he's the best centre-back in this league. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Also, as well, when you've got Jordan Willis next to you, the pace on the to recover from counter-attacks is great. And even, I thought Tom Flanagan had a good game today. He was solid when he needed balls.
But with Jordan Willis, though, I think his defensive duties right now are very good. But in the system we play, I think we need him to show a bit more in like the other end of the pitch. And I think him doing those overlapping runs when Luke O'Nien gets the ball, I've said this a few times, it just didn't work for him enough today. And he needs to be putting more crosses in from that right-hand side.
I would agree, yeah. I mean, even Luke O'Nien today, I don't think he played bad at all, but I don't think he had much joy down that side today. He wasn't getting in the box as much as he did against Oxford. I think their left back marked him out of the game today.
Yeah. 09 was, it's a funny one because I thought he came on strong in the last few minutes when we were on the back foot, like him getting his foot in, but I just felt at times going forward with the ball, he didn't know really what to do with it in the final third. And although he did try to put a few good crosses in, I think he was relying too much on Willis to do that for him. But to be fair, Luke, credit where it's due, he does normally put in 110% every game. And it was just, it was an overall team effort today, I felt, just to get over that finishing line.
There is two players that I'd like to give praise to. First of all, Denver Hume.
Had a good game.
He's I don't know if he's been he must have been training it, but his crosses were so much better today. So much better. And if we had a striker who could actually score, we could have got a few more.
Yeah, Hume's first touch as well. Terrific when the ball's played across them.
He did some nice things as well on the ball. His dribbling's quite well. Also, Grant Ledbetter.
Two great performances.
Exactly. I thought he was great today. I mean, it makes me laugh how everyone's giving him praise now, but against Oxford, it was always, start Josh Scowen. But today, I thought Scowen was average.
Yeah, I think it's a fitness issue, I think, right now. But it makes you wonder if Power, I'm assuming he was missing today because of an injury. If he was fit, he would have been in the starting lineup over Scowen. But Charlie Wyke being in the starting 11 today, were you a little bit sceptical about that?
Massively. I'll be honest, I thought he was going to start with Danny Graham. I wasn't expecting Charlie Wyke to start, and I hope he gets nowhere near the pitch this season. It's so frustrating because he's a big man, and instead of trying to win the ball when it's up in the air, he tries to go for a foul, and every time it's either goes against him or either goes against him. Yeah, if it goes against him, or his touch is just miles off.
Who would be, if we're continuing to play this 3-4-3 system, which feels like the first two games we played 3-4-1-2 with just that number 10 playing in behind the strikers, but today you went for a 3 up top. Who would be, if we're only going to stick with one striker, who would you want being up there?
I want to say Will Grigg, but I don't think in that system they play the way for Will Grigg. It's hoofball. For me, it would be Danny Graham. I haven't seen enough from O'Brien either. So for me, it would have to be Danny Graham. Like I said, I'd rather play the 3-4-1-2 myself. But if it is the 3-4-3, then Danny Graham.
SAFC Fan TV, I'm absolutely delighted once again to be joined by another American fan, Matt, all the way from New Mexico. Matt, such a brilliant 3 points today. And it was a bit nervy at times, particularly towards the end of the game where you just thought Peterborough were going to nick an equalising goal, but we got there.
Yeah, I'm delighted as well. I mean, that just the start of this season, and to get 7 points from these first 3 games. I mean, there's not much to be unhappy about, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. First half, though, was a little bit of a struggle, I thought. And compared to the Oxford performance last week, we just struggled to keep the ball on the deck at times and just play with a little bit more freedom, which I thought we just looked very nervous in the first period today, and just we weren't getting enough decent crosses into the box.
Yeah. The nerves are weird. No fans. So you would think they would kind of be a little bit more relaxed with that. But this was a big game. And, Hume had a couple good balls. I just wish someone would have been there a couple times. I think 09 got close once. But yeah, they started out really hot too. And so I think once we kind of rode that a little bit, it settled down a little bit. But it was never going to be a comfortable game, I don't think. That's a really good opponent. They're good.
I mean, I think they were tipped at the start of the season to be right up there challenging for promotion like they were last season. So we'll take the 3 points. If you offered me a scrappy 1-0 win before kickoff, I'd have snapped your hand off and taken that straight away. So it's all about, though, using this game as a platform and trying to improve our creative play going into the next few games. But right now, finding the forward line, particularly from the wide players we have, it's just not working at the moment.
It's not. And I want Wyke to be that man. I do, and he's not there. His instincts aren't there. I mean, even just around the goal, he just doesn't seem to make the right runs, I don't think. And I liked his pressure today, but it just seems time and time again, I'm kind of shaking my head when he gets the nod. And that is really frustrating, especially with someone like Greg on the bench who just can't produce.
Yeah, and I guess obviously the man that you love to pieces, Lyndon Gooch, it was massively tough for him, I thought, in the second half, because it felt like Parkinson was asking him to play a lot more in the centre, which doesn't work at all. You need Gucci playing on that left-hand side to provide the creativity and to really run at the defence. And I think at times he was just a little bit isolated today.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Gooch will do that, where he'll, when he gets in the middle and he doesn't kind of have Hume to work with to kind of get that energy to kind of build off with them two together, he can hold on to the ball too long or kind of go down alleyways. He didn't do that too much today, but I think you're right. He was isolated today, it was tough. But I'm glad he got the start. I think he deserved it. So it was good to see him out there.
Yeah, but in terms of taking in the starting lineup overall, Charlie Wyke was in there. I know a lot of people have been crying out for Josh Scowen to start the last 2 games, but I think he looked very off the pace today, but I think that might be a fitness issue. And also, is it Aidan O'Brien as well, our new striker? I think right now it might be a confidence issue, or it could be the fact that he just needs a lot more service, and he might be suited with someone playing like next to him to help provide the attacking power.
Yeah. He could have had one last week, which is a shame he didn't put that away. I like his energy, and I'll always take Maguire in there, but him and Gooch together, I thought their energy was good. But you're right, the end product has to be there. He has to be able to kind of put away his chances. He hasn't been able to yet. He'll get behind, which is great, and he doesn't lack running and working, which is good. But yeah, you would like him to have a goal or 2 already to kind of just get off the mark.
Matt, anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Having the American fans on our channel is just absolutely delightful right now. It just shows that we have fans all across the world. We're such a passionate fan base, and we're hopeful we can potentially meet up with you at a game at the Stadium of Light in the future.
Absolutely, you bet. Let's do that for sure. Thanks for having me on. This was really fun.
Cheers, Matt. Top man.